been treated as a source for others' growth, rather than as a foundation for its own flourishing. As our joint statement warns, even at the current race for critical raw materials that we can unfortunately witness all over the world, territories are being devastated, communities sacrificed, and historical patterns of extractivism being reinforced. Briefly quote late Pope Francis, who visited the Democratic Republic of the Congo in January 2023, and he expressed very, I think, strong and prophetic purpose. He said, "Hand off Africa, stop choking Africa. It is not a mine to be stripped or a terrain to be planted. May Africa be the protagonist of its own destiny. May the world acknowledge the catastrophic things that were done over centuries to the detriment of the local peoples. Instead, room needs to be made for diplomacy that is authentically human, for a diplomacy where peoples are concerned for other peoples, for a diplomacy centered not on control for land and resources, on expansionism and increased profits, but rather on providing opportunities for people to grow and develop." In a similar spirit, recently in the popular movement, made reference to the fact that the development of new technologies of information and telecommunication depends on minerals found in the subsoil of our countries. Without production from the Democratic Republic of Congo, for example, many of the technological devices used today do not exist. Still, its extraction depends on paramilitary violence, child labor, and displacement of populations. Lithium is another example. Competition among the great powers and the large corporations for its extraction represents a great threat to the sovereignty and stability of poor states, to the point that some contractors and politicians boast of promoting coups and other forms of political destabilization in order to get their hands on the right of lithium. And these words of Pope Francis and Europe go beyond pure rhetoric. They name a moral imperative that land and its people are not commodities, they are sacred. And now when it comes to Europe and Europe's policies with regard to Africa and especially the area of extractivism, our joint statement notes that we are witnessing a profound shift in European priorities, away from solidarity with the most fragile regions and communities, and from development cooperation aimed at eradicating poverty and hunger, rather towards a more economic interests. Notwithstanding the economic intention behind some projects that promote human development at grassroots, we see certain initiatives that are supported, especially under the sort of global gateway initiative, that too often replicate extractive patterns of the past that seem to privilege rather European corporate and strategic aims over the real aspirations of the African people. If we think such a path in the future EU-AU partnership, this will not lead to a true partnership, but this would rather reinforce the existing imbalances. I will stop here, and maybe in the second round of our discussion, I will also refer maybe to some more concrete policy proposals and recommendations that, from our perspective, are taken in order to make the EU-AU partnership indeed a partnership for people and with people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mane. I would like to give the word to another voice of faith and the Archbishop Don Ignacio. Based on your experience, can you please present in this supplementary statements staying out in the oil and gas in your diocese in Mozambique? Seeing yours. Okay. Okay, so I think there was just a translator speaking, right? I'm asking whether all the speakers can use headphones so it can be understood better. I'm not seeing the Archbishop still in the room. Because help me, is he still in the room with us?
I suggest that I don't see him now. Can you just get next speaker?
James, the Bishop's Town, there is on the line, is on the last.
Antonio has on the you should provide a context visualization of how the points of the racial mapping reflect in the organic architecture in your diocese of Mozambique. You are muted, Antonio. If you unmute yourself. Yes, I still actually still muted. Yes.
Thank you very much. I got some information which I was trying to say that Tony Nancy was about to hear the next so going to be this meeting. I have interests over here, so I can transmit spiritually some key points which he wanted to present to all of us. So it will be Portuguese, so that must leave available the presentation in English for the translation purpose. Excelentíssimos, ilustres convidados, irmãos e irmãs em Cristo. Agradeço aos organizadores deste momento por me terem convidado a participar, bem como a surpresa de me pedirem para que dissesse algumas palavras sobre o tema a busca de ecologia integral e de dignidade humana nos setores extrativos africanos. Importa dizer que não sou perito nesta matéria, mas um lugar de rua que passou natural de Moçambique, pelo que de mim para ouvir, se vai exatamente a esse nível. Vou falar mesmo como vejo que muitas coisas que ela se passam deixando os especialistas fazerem a pertinente interpretação para o uso judicioso da sociedade, como é de a descoberta de vasta reserva de gás natural offshore no 2010 foi anunciada como uma bênção, uma oportunidade transformadora e para tirar da miséria uma das pessoas mais pobres do mundo, que é Moçambique. E também, em vez do paraíso anunciado, trouxe uma dura lição como a busca de recursos energéticos divorciada de considerações éticas e ecológicas pode levar a conflitos e uma profunda erosão da dignidade humana. A proposta total, uma empresa de prosperidade e uma realidade de desenvolvimento. A gente francesa Total tornou-se o ator central para os fundos da Caixa Econômica feito de 20 milhões de dólares, um dos maiores investimentos de África. A promessa é que a Total comprometeu-se a criar emprego infraestruturas e desenvolvimento. Competências e uma nova sociedade publicada.
Please, Antonio, at the moment. Okay, there should be someone with the mic. Michael, can you where I'm not speaking, please?
Yes, I think go ahead.
A propriedade final de terras e perda de meios de subsistência. Para garantir o local do projeto, milhares de comunidades fechatórias e agrícolas foram realocadas da roça. A compensação é muitas vezes inadequada, não conseguindo substituir a perda de terras ancestrais de acesso ao mar, que era a própria fonte da sua identidade e subsistência. A dignidade humana inerente ao seu modo de vida e à sua ligação à terra. Vamos para o ponto 3. Os desafios do conflito de esperança econômica e humanitária. A marginalização socioeconômica criou um terreno fértil, uma insurgência violenta que eclodiu em 2017. O conflito, embora complexo, está inevitavelmente ligado às queixas em torno do objeto de gás. Uma guerra nas imediações de uma central de gás, a insurgência de grupos afiliados a países do Moçambique trouxe uma bruta inimaginável. Arrasadas, civis fora e ainda hoje continuam a ser decapitadas e uma enorme crise humanitária se caiu. Nós, quando estamos a falar, nós temos cerca de mais de 30 pessoas, 30 mil pessoas que estão focadas mesmo na província vizinha de Nampula, que eles já transitaram da província de Cabo Verde para Nampula. A família total, na sequência dos ataques de 2017, levou a que em 2021, após uma grande ataque na província, na cidade vizinha de Palma, a total declarou força majeure. Suspenderam, independentemente das suas operações, essa decisão, embora compreensível do ponto de vista de segurança, evidenciou a fragilidade de um poder econômico que poderia ser desligado, deixando a população local a suportar as últimas consequências. A Total Energies propõe o levantamento imediato da força majeure sob condições que o governo através de uma carta que ela mandou ao presidente do Chá continuar com as suas atividades e, ao mesmo tempo, a simpática dizer e necessidade de 4,5 mil milhões de dólares para se pensar no mesmo projeto ao longo destes 4 anos e na indisponibilidade daquela só que o governo do Estado conceda uma prorrogação do prazo de exploração por um período de 10 anos. O governo aprovou a proposta do levantamento do orçamento ontem, no dia 18 de novembro, e é hoje. Os impactos socioeconômicos, direito de dignidade para a comunidade local. Depende na realidade atual, para a Polícia de Cabo Delgado, que apresenta uma prática catastrófica na promoção da dignidade humana, manifesta pelo número de população em massa, mesmo das comunidades destruídas, mortes e trabalho psicológico, elas como a adição de recursos em tempo real. Um apelo à ação para o caminho verdadeiramente integrado. Irmãos e irmãs, a expectativa de Cabo Delgado não é um incidente isolado, é como de advertência a toda a África. Então, a pergunta que se coloca é o que devemos fazer? Primeira dignidade humana, iniciando e constantemente comunitária no centro das operações multinacionais. Nós defender a ecologia integral na prática. Defender uma transparência e responsabilidade radicais. Para apoiar uma transição justa. A terminar e a concluir, diria que o gás, ao longo da costa de Cabo Delgado, norte de Moçambique, destinava-se a alimentar o desenvolvimento, de forma nativa e política. Em vez disso, alimentou um foco de conflito e sofrimento das suas populações. O caminho da política era claro, embora agora pausado, deixou cicatrizes profundas. Ela mostra-nos que, sem um compromisso e a palavra com a ecologia integral e a dignidade humana, os setores extrativos e energéticos continuarão a produzir não prosperidade, mas pobreza, não paz, mas conflito, não dignidade, mas desespero. Que o tipo de povo de ouro que mova da reflexão, ação profética, assegurando-nos de que a riqueza sobre o solo africano e a das nossas costas sirva para elevar o nível de vida das pessoas que levam a vida, honrando a sua comunidade dada por Deus e permitindo-lhes ocupar o seu justo lugar na criação. Muito obrigado.
Thank you so much, Antonio, for sharing these points. And you already also answered some questions that I wanted to ask for the second round, but now you already got into the recommendation and the ones that you bring from your side, which is great. So thank you very much. I would like to give the word to Alexandria Hart. Alexandria, as Antonio has described, there are some particular concerns about gas and petroleum projects that involve and we understand that your organization, Women, is also involved in supporting communities who are badly affected by renewable energies. So could you please share to us what some of the cases are that you are working on and why exactly are so problematic, depending on your point of view?
Thank you very much for having me on this program. I want to say that I'm in solidarity with communities and on other parts of the continent that are facing the same onslaught that we are facing in terms of extractivism. And to say that I think for us, as many have articulated already, this is not a new phenomenon for Africans. This has been centuries old story of where minerals and land is essential for the energy transition of the global north. And we are seeing that those who struggle for Africa centuries ago are struggling again. Some of the same colonizers are colonizing and stealing our land and minerals again. And so Africa,
can you speak again? I'm not hearing you anymore.
I stopped because hello? I stopped because somebody had unmuted was speaking.
Yes, let me please go ahead.
Thank you. And what we're seeing in the South African context is that the South African state is part of its strategy to solve what they see as the economic crisis, but also supposedly our ecological and climate crisis, and has developed an energy transition plan that has been deeply invested and funded by global countries and particularly Europe. So we have seen huge investments by Germany, by Holland, and by the EU in the just energy transition plan of South Africa. In particular, in this year, the EU committed to just give me a second around to pull it up. 11.5 billion euros in South African sustainable energy projects. And it's interesting that there will be another webinar later to talk about the question of debt. I think the question of debt is integral to the question of extractivism, because these investments are not for direct gifts to the same way international and financial institutions impose structural adjustment programs in the 90s. These are going to be similar manifestations for the investments that they are making in renewable energy. In South Africa, the state has agreed through economic policy and development policy, as the South African government and the South African people, will incur the cost of building the infrastructure for renewable energy in South Africa. We will build all the infrastructure that is needed for hydrogen, solar, wind, so these renewable energy projects will be funded by these multinational corporations. And most of the renewable energy that will be produced will be for export to other world. In the work that we do, I've had working in an area in South Africa called Northern Cape Province, and it's been described by our president as the Saudi Arabia of renewable energy in the country, and also of our environmental challenges, because it is the biggest province in South Africa with large for wind and solar and other forms of to both Shell, Total, Gazillion, and other transnational. But our state is saying that, just like Donald Trump, drill baby drill, they are awarding as many licenses despite our objections and going to court to challenge our rights to say no and to protect the environment. And so what we are seeing and I'm seeing that you're wanting me to maybe run up, Selena, is that we're not seeing a fundamental shift in relations between Europe and Africa. And we as Africans need to be much more firm with the leaders that of our states to say that they shouldn't stand as beggars waiting for investments from Europe and the global north, and that we need to determine the agenda of what development looks like, because they need our minerals, we don't need theirs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexandria. Perfect. We are slowly coming to the end of this panel. However, I would like to give the word back quickly first to Marek and then again to Alexia, just to have a summary of your key recommendations that you are proposing to the AU and EU leaders, which are about to meet next week. We have already heard some of the recommendations and demands from Antonio. So I would like to give the word first to Marek and then to Alexia. And please, I would ask you to keep it at 2 to 3 minutes so that we have some time also for the questions of our audience. Thank you.
Eu gostaria de tomar a palavra. Não sei se posso intervir, gostaria de tomar a palavra.
Yes, is this the interpreter speaking? Yes, we will have a question and answer round after Marek and Alexandria have shared their recommendations. All right, then go ahead, Marek.
Thank you, Selina, and indeed I will try to be brief in presenting some.
I'm not hearing you right now. Hold on a second. Is there something wrong with the... Yeah, okay, perfect.
Good, so
Yeah, that's on my end. I figured it out. Please go ahead, Marek.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Selina, and indeed I will try to be brief in summarizing our key recommendations that I think are very much aligned with what has already been also shared by Antonio and Alexandra. I will focus on 4, let's say, key vectors that we formulate in our joint statement. The first has also been said by both Alexandra and Antonio, put people and communities first. In our joint statement, we speak from the lived realities of farmers, fisherfolk, pastoralists, indigenous peoples, women and youth. And these voices must not only be heard, but they must indeed shape the decision making. The second vector, in terms of our recommendations towards the EU-AU summit, is to really develop policies that ensure transparency, accountability, and governance. Every investment contract, every extraction site, every trade agreement must be grounded in good governance, transparency, and indeed respect for human rights and the environment. And this is also not sufficient. It also has to be accompanied by robust and enforceable monitoring and enforcement mechanisms. So this also has to do very much with what Alexandria was saying about also due diligence obligations for businesses. That is now very much also under discussion in the European Union. There is a law that has been adopted recently, but currently also in the name, let's say, of competitiveness, of increasing Europe's competitive capacity. There are attempts to undermine and to diminish the scope and the due diligence law. They are also very much engaged in Brussels to maintain at least that ambition that had been adopted last year in terms of these obligations for the businesses in terms of human rights and the environment. The third recommendation is to create value where resources are found. So this also very much has been already said by both Antonio and us, that we need true partnership demands innovation and participation in the value chains. So Europe should not pursue Europe first approach that undermines Africa's ambitions for industrialization and self-reliance. And this also requires reconsidering the overall model of energy that ensures that the benefits associated with the renewable energy and mineral production are indeed felt by local communities and producer countries. And the fourth factor, the success in our statements to frame solidarity and
Diga. Vamos escutar.
Estamos a ver muito bem. Muito bem.
Ok. O sofrimento dos africanos é um efeito, não é uma causa. Qual é a causa? A causa é falta de alternância de poder, porque em todos os países, em quase todos os países africanos, o partido que assume o poder não quer largar o poder. Quer se manter no poder, tem temor da alternância. Por que tem temor da alternância? Então, eu gostaria de pedir à União Africana que coloque isto como prioridade no continente africano. Que haja uma norma africana que seja capaz de dar pela alternância de poder. Muito. É porque todos os recursos naturais, quase em muitos países africanos, os recursos naturais não são transformados em África. São exportados em bruto. E depois, ainda, os próprios produtos que saem do continente africano, que são transformados fora, nós ainda vamos atrás para importar os produtos transformados quando a matéria-prima saiu do continente africano. Então não faz sentido